Ladies, gentlemen, and be friends everywhere in between, welcome back to another episode of Talkōbon. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this one. It's really easy to do, and I like talking about manga, believe it or not. A lot easier to talk about manga when I'm looking directly at the pages. It's so easy. So, let's talk about today's topic is Dandadan. Dandadan. Dan, or Dandadan, as I would say in my country accent, is a really, really unique manga, and I am fully caught up, and I will tell you it is real curveball of a manga, but we'll talk about that more here in a minute after we talk about my sponsor. Hey y'all, I know there's something in this economy that you guys could need, and that is some free cash. Doesn't that sound great? Free cash sounds like a great idea. Freecash.com is a site you can sign up for and literally do things that you would probably normally do and get paid for it. Are you one of those people that sits down and takes surveys from BuzzFeed that tells you literally nothing about yourself, but you still click the questions anyway? What if they paid you to do that? That's right, you can get paid to do surveys on Free Cash. Are you a mobile gamer? You don't have to answer that question. If so, Free Cash will literally pay you to play games. It's incredibly easy. Once you reach a certain limit, you can cash out from multiple websites, including Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam. You can also withdraw money for things like V-Bucks and Roblox dollars. I don't even know what those are actually called because I don't play that game. But most importantly for me, things like CSGO, League of Legends, and Valorant also have withdraw options. So you best believe I'm doing that to get some skins in Valo. And if you'd like to get started today, you can go to freecash.com/r/BaronJ. That's right, freecash.com/r/BaronJ. And get started earning money for the things you already do today. Dandadan is a wild, it's probably one of the craziest manga I've read in a very, very long time. Sort of subversion of the normal shonen tropes, at the same time being a shonen manga. It is very, very, I use the word a lot, it's unique. I like wild, it's chaotic almost in some ways. This is a new manga from, well, relatively new. It's been out for a while, but it's done by Yukinobu Tatsu, who is a assistant, I believe, on Fire Punch. God, I need to do an episode on Fire Punch. Actually, I need to do an entire episode on Fire Punch. But that'll be a whole other thing. Also an assistant to the author of Jiko Kuraku. He came out with Dandadan, and let me tell you, if you like stuff that, if you like a manga that you can literally not predict, then this is something for you. This is something else. Just to give you the basic plot, Momo is this girl, high school girl. She likes ghosts, does not believe in aliens. Meanwhile, the main character, oh god, what's his name? Okarun. He believes in aliens, does not believe in ghosts. It basically starts off like it's going to be sort of a creature of the week style thing where they go and they're like, oh, there's an alien supposedly here. Oh, there's a ghost supposedly here, and they go there and they do that. But the inciting event for all of this is the boy Okarun, within the first few chapters, loses his nuts. his golden balls, as they're called. He, within the first few episodes, within the first few chapters, he just goes to the bathroom and he's like, my nuts are gone. I'm not even kidding. That is one of the instigating factors for why this show kicks off. It is this sort of like a, their powers individually, for some of them, are based on yokai. Momo, the main girl, is basically just like this spirit medium who has sort of psychic kinetic powers. She can see auras on people and has sort of like a telekinesis kind of deal. the main guy gets possessed, and this is going to be very evident. This is not a spoiler from all the art that you can see. The main guy, Okarun, gets possessed by a yokai known as the Turbo Granny. This is a popular thing from Japanese folklore. The Turbo Granny is a very fast grandma that runs in a tunnel, and he gets possessed by the Turbo Granny and turns into this real fucking cool looking, big smiling, really fast hybrid form that you get into that in some of the later chapters as to what it can do, but mainly that's the cool thing about his character at the outset. The story is essentially them just dealing with aliens and ghosts and the entire supernatural deal. It is all over the place. It is fairly insane. It kind of reminds me of, in some ways, a very much more comedic centric Yu Yu Hakusho, like early Yu Yu Hakusho, where it's sort of like a creature of the week feature for a while, where they're just kind of going back and forth across town, like, oh yeah, we heard about this thing that's happening over in the school or something like that. And there are 133 chapters as of me recording, and it is all over the place. It is all over the place. One of the main reasons I'm also talking about it is because there is an adaptation coming out. It's coming out sometime in October next year, I think. Yes, October next year. Science Saru is doing it, and the trailer looks absolutely nuts. Crazy music. I really like the music choice that they did with it. But anyway, let's talk about the manga itself. The first 20 or so chapters are very sort of, how do I put this? Again, it starts off very creature of the week, stuff like that, going back and forth, losing the guy's balls. Again, just the fact that happens is as like an instigating event for Okarun. Or actually, no, his name's not just Okarun. His name is actually Ken Takakura, or Takakura Ken, which is very funny because the main girl, Momo, has a crush on the actor Takakura Ken, who is a real person in Japan. He's a real actor, Ken Takakura, and wants to date any guy that looks like him. But his name is Takakura Ken Takakura. So she's like, no, your name's not Ken Takakura. Your name is Okarun. I forgot about that. They go from place to place, sort of on the on the whim of the grandma, Momo's grandma, who is sort of like their benefactor, essentially. Like, she just has a house and Momo lives there. She's a crazy exorcist woman, spirit medium type deal, and is just like barely ever there for a lot of the big instigating events, but when she is there, she's incredibly powerful and helps out a lot. There is a wide cast of characters in Dandadan. There's like the Turbo Granny from before becomes like a side character at one point. There are also other students that have interest and like things from the occult. There's like a childhood friend type deal with a guy that comes on later on. It is a very diverse cast of characters that all sort of have their own. I mean, it's a very shonen trope. They all have their weird occult superpower, and they can all do something, except for one guy. But he sort of does, kind of. That's for more later on in the manga. Now, let's talk about the art. I actually know people that worked on some of the advertising for this in English, and let me tell you, when I heard that they were doing the stuff for it, I was like, that's cool, that's awesome. Within the first chapter, one, character designs are cute. They're cute. Momo's a very cute character, drawn very, very well. Another thing I think that's fascinating is it's a lot of the background characters and stuff aren't exactly one note. Like, people are drawn very uniquely, which I find fascinating. We get to like page 6 or 7. 12 and 13. We get to page 12 and 13, and there's Obama. Obama's on the screen along with a lizard man. It presents itself very much like it's going to be creature feature of the week type deal. I've been saying type deal all day. And you get these sort of wild illustrations of like crazy alien looking things. I will say, if it does bother you in the first chapter, there is a little bit of this, it's a little fan service, weird aliens are gonna do a thing to the main girl, and it gets taken care of very quickly. I will say it's not a very fan servicey manga. It's got some, very, very nicely drawn characters, but it's very much done, I would say, fairly tastefully. And again, this is Japanese manga we're talking about. Fan service is sort of a given in a lot of cases. But yeah, if that bothers you, it's in the first chapter, and I don't think it comes back very often. Of course, I say that, and I went to chapter 2, and it happens like very, very quickly, immediately. But again, yeah, it's the marketing. This is who it's marketed towards. It's high school boys want to see girls naked. That's the whole idea. But again, I guess I'm just so jaded that it's just what it is. It's what you get. But let's talk about the art in general. The art in general is just wacky. It is somewhere between dynamic. Dynamic is the word I would use a lot. The framing is a little bit more rigid, but what you get when it's not in a lot of them. For example, chapter 2, page 28 and 29, you get this wild shot of Okarun with the Turbo Granny power-up first activated, and it is just sick looking. It is so cool. It is so well drawn. And on the other end of that, you just see Momo, the girl, is just like she's just been picked up, and that's the sort of dynamic that you get. It is all over the place. It is ADD kids like dream manga, and while I say the framing is rigid, it's just very, very it's got more framing. I just did an episode about Ranger Reject a couple of weeks ago. That it has a lot of very, very wild framing, whereas Dandadan is a little bit more traditional. But what you get, the sort of again, I'll use that word, dynamic. The dynamic that you get with the frames that you are given here are very, very interesting. Sort of using the space to play to the manga's strengths, which are these balls to the wall, like just off the wall designs of these aliens and spirits and stuff like that. The action is really well designed, really well framed, really well almost like directed from the manga standpoint. And yeah, it's really, really cool. I talked about fan service stuff before, and I'm going through, and I'm on chapter 3 now, and I'm like, yep, there's some more. So yeah, if it does bother you, there is fan service. The character dynamics, there is a little bit more of a romance subplot than I think most people would expect from this. It is one that does make you want to root for the two main characters, and there is some friction later on where other characters are introduced, and that sort of strange dynamic, I'll use the word again, that's the secret word of the day, where other characters are introduced and introduce some opposition towards our main characters. But yeah, as of the chapter 133, I think is what it's on at this point. Double check and make sure that number is right. Oh God, yeah, 133. That must be a new one because I don't think I've read that one yet. I think the last one I read was 132, maybe even before that. But I am mostly caught up, I guess you could say. But it is quite good, still ongoing, and honestly, I have to recommend it. It's quite a good read. Has a lot of like I said, that chaos, that chaos dynamic. I'll say the word again. Just really, really chaotic ADD power dynamic. And I just said the word again, dynamic. It's quite all over the place, and I love it. It's really, really good. That would be probably my my one thing to say. It's not all good. It's not all good. If you are not capable of having a very ping pong reading comprehension where you have to go back and forth between a couple different things at once, it does have that a little bit in some of the later chapters where it's bouncing all over the place. If you can get past that, then you will definitely have a great time. I had a great time. I really like it. I'm very, very excited to see what happens in the adaptation. Science Saru do insane work, and yeah, that's the long and short of it from me. I really, really liked it. I hope you guys do too. If you would like to support the podcast, please check out our sponsor. And once again, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening, folks. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.